You are welcome to this channel. Don't forget to like, to share, and also to subscribe to our channel. Emergency rule cannot replace civil rule, says Rivers political figures in the news today. A former member of the House of Representatives, Ogbonna Nwuke, and an aide to suspended Rivers State Governor Jerry Omasogunwa have expressed optimism over the return of Siminalayi Fubara to office, while warning against attempts to extend the state's emergency rule. Speaking with our correspondent in Port Harcourt ahead of the September 18 expiry of the emergency rule, Nwuke, who represented Eche Omuma local government and previously served as Commissioner for Information and Communications, said it is time for democratic institutions to be fully restored in Rivers State. He expressed concern that some anti-democratic forces are already flying kites to overheat the polity and push for an extension of the emergency rule. Nwuke said, I'm a Nigerian and I believe in due process. There is no way an emergency rule can replace civil rule. Its tenure is coming to an end, and what is reasonable now is the return to proper democracy. For the past 5 months, Rivers people have not enjoyed democracy. Projects have stalled, and the current administration cannot even maintain basic cleanliness in the state. We hope democratic institutions, including office of the governor, will be restored without delay. He added, there is no reason to fear. The president had already announced a 6-month emergency rule, but the circumstances that necessitated it no longer exist. What we should expect now is the restoration of democratic governance. Echoing Nwuke, Omasogunwa said the government is ready for the transition. With the successful completion of the local government elections, the path to clear is clear for democracy to return to Rivers State. We expect the governor to resume office and continue the good work he started. He is a man of the people, and his people know and trust him. For now, the priority is maintaining peace in the state. These are the submission of one of the aide of the governor of Rivers State, the person of Ogbonna Nwuke. He is a former member of the House of Representatives and is an aide to the suspended Rivers State government, Nyesom Wike. And his submission is that, well, whether we like it or not, there is nothing like democratic rule, which is true. It is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. As far as this emergency rule is concerned, it is not the will of the people of Rivers State. It's a leadership or rulership by circumstances. It's highly circumstantial, and nobody can rule out that that's the reality. And his belief is that very soon the tenure of emergency rule will end. His belief is that by September 18, that will come to an end. And because the factor that warranted it is no more in Rivers State, there is peace now. I think the government will be restored again, even to the democratically elected governor. And then the democratic institutions that were also suspended along with the executive arm will be restored. So the people of Rivers State, by the reason of what this aide has said, they are looking forward even to what is going to happen, and that is in real sense the reality. The people of Rivers State want to return to democratic rule. How true it is, nobody can say, because Mr. Jerry said immediately the state of emergency was declared, all things called democracy stopped in Rivers State. All democratic dividends were no more seen. He even said that infrastructural development was stalled. Because Rivers State has become even more dirtier than it was. Ordinary cleaning of the state of emergency rule couldn't achieve. And his belief is that as soon as the state is restored, all those paraphernalias, all those goodies that people are enjoying under the democratic dispensation will come back. And then he has already said some anti-democratic forces are already flying kites to overeat the policy and push for an extension of the emergency rule. And he expressed concern over this. Well, as far as the president is concerned, to the best of the knowledge of those who are close to him, he shouldn't do that. Since the reason for invoking this doctrine of necessity called emergency rule is no more there. There is peace in Rivers State. They held a local government election. We did not hear of any problem, anybody fighting anybody, anybody killing anybody. Even though the so-called election is marred with a form of irregularity because of non-usage of beavers, it may be called to question. Probably in later time in the court of competent jurisdiction. At least for now, there is relative peace. We may even be able to say that the administrator have been able to maintain that, and also the gladiators in the political or democratic framework have been able to sheath their sword too, because as at present everything seems to be quiet. But the question is coming to mind: is this peace, or is this just that everybody just decided to keep quiet? They just decided to allow the sleeping dog to lie, that they are waiting for an opportunity that will be suitable before they launch their attack again. Because from the look of things, it doesn't look as if there is reconciliation, since it seems it is only one arm of the divide that is, conducting the election, and the other arm, whose arrowhead the governor, in quotes now, suspended, wasn't even in town to partake in the local government election. I think I've never heard of that any before in history, that a governor who is not indisposed, who is not sick, and incapacitated, couldn't come and vote in a local government grassroots election. And it was purportedly reported that he wasn't in town. That is is so funny. Well, it is very, very surprising. But be it as it may, that is where we have found ourselves in Nigeria, especially in Rivers State. I hope the people of Rivers State will be able to correct all the wrongs, maybe when Fubara comes, or they will just continue to allow the sleeping dog to lie as it is now, because they want peace and they want to return to democratic rule. Of course, the Mr. Nwoke said, I'm a Nigerian and I believe in due process. He said there's no way an emergency rule can replace civil rule. Its tenure is coming to an end. And what is reasonable now is the return to proper democracy. Yes, well said. You cannot compare the government of the people by the government of necessity. That is very, very important, because democracy is ruled by democratic principle, while an emergency rule is by fiat, because he's a sole administrator. Everything is inside him. The law is inside him. The decree is inside him. Even the judgment is inside him. Unless if he decide to be, a due process person and allow every other sector or arm of government to exist, as it were. But if not, there is no government that can be compared, in quote now, to democratic rule compared to an emergency rule. Keep liking our channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you share. Thank you.